Access 2019, Module 1, Part 3. In this section, we are going to be entering data into our tables that we have already created. So at this point, you should have already created the Lakewood database. If you don't have it open, you should go ahead and open that. You should already have created the billing table and the visit table in parts 1 and 2 of Module 1 videos. So now we're going to open up our visit table in order to enter data into it. So in order to open up an object on the object pane, you can either right-click on it. You can choose Design View, and it will open up directly into Design View where you can change the properties of the fields. Or you can click Open. That will open you up into Datasheet View. You can also double-click on that object and it will open into the Datasheet View. Datasheet View is the only view of a table where you will actually see the data that is being entered. When you're entering data into your tables, you do want to use some caution. Obviously, on many of your homework assignments, minor typing errors can cause significant point loss, so you want to be aware of the typing and be careful. But especially during class, you want to pay attention to the primary keys and the foreign keys that you're typing in. So for example, in this table, our visit ID is the primary key and patient ID is a foreign key. Those two fields will be used to connect or join the tables together to form relationships at the end of Module 2. If the field data is not consistent, and by that I mean if I'm entering a patient ID of 13310 in the visit table, there has to be a patient with 13310 as their patient ID in the patient table, which we will be adding in Module 2. So it has to exist in both tables. Otherwise, the relationships will not be created properly. So you do want to be very careful with your typing. The data that we are going to be entering to begin with is in Figure 1-19, and that's on page 1-29. So we're going to start out with 1495. Notice when I start typing, I get a pencil in the box directly to the left of the record. That pencil indicates that this record is now being changed or edited, and it has not been saved yet. So whatever you have typed since the pencil appeared has not been saved. But once the pencil disappears when you leave the record, then those changes will be saved. So we're going to tab between fields. So I'll hit the tab and I'll say patient ID 13310 and I'll tab. For date fields, you do get a calendar that you can look up, but since our dates are so far in the future, I think it's easier just to type them. So I'm going to type in 12/23/20. And the reason is rhinitis, rhinitis. Once you get to the yes, no field, walk in. If the answer is yes, you're going to check the box. You can either use the mouse and click the checkbox on and off, or you can use the space bar to toggle on and off that sheet or that field. So we're going to check the box so it's yes, and then we're going to tab to the next record, and you'll notice now that the pencil disappeared. At that point, that record is now saved in our database, so we do not have to do an extra saving step. So we have 1450, 13272, 10, 26, 20 for influenza. And then yes, it's a walk-in, so check the box. 1461, 13250 on 11/3/20, dermatitis. Yes, check the box. 1615, 13308, 4121, COPD, management, visit. It was not a walk-in, so leave that one unchecked. Then 1596, 13299, 324, pneumonia, PNEUMONIA, and yes, it's a walk-in. 1567, 13283, 22621, annual wellness visit. It was not a walk-in. 1499, 13264, 12/28/20, hypotension. Unchecked. And then finally 1475, 13261, 11/19/20, annual wellness visit, and an unchecked box. So once all the pencils disappear, you can see that the records are now saved. So you do not need to do an extra save at the end of entering your data. So if we close this table, you can see that it does not ask us to save it, but when we reopen it, it will automatically resort the data. So let's say that one of the things that we wanted to do was change the width of the reason field. We wanted to enlarge that. So maybe I'm just going to drag that over a little bit and make it a little larger. Now, if I close that same table, it will ask me if I want to save the changes. And I'm going to go ahead and say yes, because the structure of the table itself changed, not the data. So we only have to use the save button if we actually change the structure. So let's go ahead and open our visit table back up and look at a few things with data. The first thing is our navigation arrows down here at the bottom of our table. We can move to the first record, the next record, the last record. We can type in a number in the search box and it will take you to that number. So you can move around the records this way. And it, right now it looks kind of silly because I can see them on the screen and there's only, a few there. But, my husband works with databases regularly where there might be 10 or 15,000 records in a table. And so to be able to move to the last one quickly and not have to scroll down from 15,000 records can be very time saving. The other button down here with the sunburst next to the arrow. If you hover over it, you see that takes you to a new blank record. So if I wanted to add additional data to my table, I would hit this add new blank record, and it would automatically take me to the first available record to type in. So again, in the example, if I had 10 or 15,000 records, using that button to get you all the way to the bottom would be quite helpful. So we're going to use visit ID 1548. And it's going to have a patient ID of 13301 on 2/10/21. And it's hypothyroidism. Hypo and then THYROIDISM, hypothyroidism. It is unchecked. It was not a walk-in. And the last record we're going to add is 1588, 13268, 31921, cyst removal. And it should be checked. So you can see we added those at the bottom. When we go ahead and close and then reopen that table, you'll see that it resequenced them in order of the primary key. So we don't have to worry about inserting records and sticking them in a certain place. It will automatically resort those for us. We do want to remember that when we're closing objects, we use this X down here on the Objects tab. If you use this X up here in the top right corner, that's going to close your entire database, not just the object you're working on.